We're the movie goons.
Hi, Sam from Movie Goons here, and in this video I'll be showing you my collection. Recently I started collecting Blu-rays and DVDs early in 2013, so my collection's small but it's still growing, so hopefully I hope you like it. My first film on the list is called The Book of Daniel. It's not too familiar, so I could understand if not many know of this film, but it talks about the guy in the lion's den, and the acting is great, the story is great, not too much on visual effects, but those two first things excelled on it. So for me, 10 out of 10 I would say. Second film is a documentary called Unstoppables by Kirk Cameron. He narrates it well, and the great visuals on here I'd say, and 5 out of 5 for me. Another film I enjoyed on Blu-ray, it's Ben Affleck's It's the Town, and I really enjoyed him and Rebecca Hall on this. Very good, both. I enjoyed them a lot. They complement each other well, so a great pickup for me. And a friend of mine got me The Hunt for Red October. You heard me talk about it before. Great film, Sean Connery, the best, one of his best over here, so I'd say a pickup for me definitely. A good Marvel film, and I want to expand my Marvel collection in the near future. It's Captain America, stars Chris Evans. I'd say it's one of his best films for me out there, and it's a good popcorn action film, so hopefully if you haven't known about this, I would recommend you pick it up. And Indiana Jones, another good action film. It's one of the first I saw Harrison Ford in, so it really got me hooked on him as an actor, so good little watch here, classic too. Also not too familiar is The Brave One, stars Jodie Foster. I really like the cover on this. It's a DVD, and more about the story. She's a woman traumatized, forced into defending herself and becoming a vigilante, so I'd say it has a great story. 5 out of 5 for me, a definite pickup. And pretty sure you're all familiar with the Fast and the Furious franchise. This one's my favorite in all of them. The third one, Tokyo Drift. Great acting, great story, nice visuals, and good cars obviously, so definite action, good action film pickup for me. And the next two, I'd say they're my favorite in the Terminator franchise. First up is Terminator 2 on Judgment Day. I recently replaced this. I had it on DVD, but I felt it needed an upgrade, so I heard the extras on this was great, so a definite Blu-ray pick for me. And the fourth one, not as well known in the franchises, and I think it's underrated. Stars Christian Bale, and I think he does well in this, so I would recommend just rewatch it and give it an honest watch, you know. Next two in my collection are Predator and Predator 2. Good watches. I mentioned this before. Predator was my first Blu-ray and it got me hooked on them, so good watches both of them. Danny Glover's in the second one, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the first. First one's obviously the best. Second one, decent. I thought they were both complement each other well in my collection. And I feel that in a collection you should have some good directors, and I feel Steven Spielberg is a good one, so I had to pick up a very good rewatchable movie for me, and I'd say it's all the Back to the Futures. And they're all on DVD, but I'd say they look pretty good on that. Maybe I'll upgrade, who knows, but for now they're all rewatchable, and I really enjoyed them all. Next up, there's 4 in the series, but 2 are really my favorites, and that's why I only felt like getting 2, is Bourne Identity and Bourne Legacy. Matt Damon, great actor. He wasn't in this one, in the last one at all, but I thought Jeremy Renner, he carried it well for him, so good watch for me. Next up in my collection are the 3 Bonds, the new ones with Daniel Craig. I say he's done a well enough job in carrying the torch for the previous Bonds, so again, a good pickup. And a good must-own in any collection, I feel, is the Batmans. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. Nolan directed. He was great in it. Enough said. I have an animated version in my collection. It's The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. It's fairly a new one. I thought it had a nice place in my collection. I'm looking to get Part 1 as soon as I can. Next two I'm really happy with is Oblivion and Jack Reacher. Both stars Tom Cruise, and he was brilliant in both of them. So, pickups. Next two are both star Jamie Foxx. First is Law Abiding Citizen. Gerald Butler in this was also great in this. I really like this film, and I'm glad I got it on Blu-ray. It was a good deal for me. And Django Unchained, great film. I got it on DVD. I felt it didn't have a lot of effects, so it's a good on DVD or Blu-ray if you're. So, good films. I would recommend them for you to pick up. The next three are all Star Trek films. As I said before, I am a sci-fi fan, so these are must-own in my collection. Both of these are the ones that J.J. Abrams directed. He's done a great job with the franchise. I feel he made Star Trek cool again, basically. And one I've heard that people say is the best in the series is Star Trek Wrath of Khan. And so I think it's a must-own for my collection, so all three good pickups. My next one, I feel you should always have a Pixar in your collection. It shows Blu-ray to its fullest quality, I feel. So, first one is WALL-E. So, great own for me. I recently purchased this, and I'm happy for the deal I got on this. And a classic, only on DVD though, that I got is Land Before Time. A good old classic, rewatchable for me. I could visit this again if I wanted to. So, good own. The next three I own are, you can so-called romance or chick flicks. You know, if you ever have a girl over, you know, it's always good to have something for them to watch. First one is Love and Basketball. Great film, great story, really enjoyed it. Second one, Time Traveler's Wife, has that good sci-fi element in there for me, so I really liked it. But that and Rachel McAdams, Eric Bana, wonderful together. Last one is Spanglish. I'm not an Adam Sandler's fan, but this is his best work for me. Very serious in this. He played the role well, so must own. Now, starting off my sci-fi collection is Stargate. You've seen this before. 5 out of 5 for me. A good pickup. Next up, Independence Day. I recently got this. It's a great old film from the 90s. Will Smith, great in this, so pick up. A recent release is Cowboys and Aliens. I thought this was a good Blu-ray watch. Daniel Craig in this, Harrison Ford, they're brilliant in there together, so well directed, good story, so definite pickup. This is probably my favorite in the series, Men in Black 3, Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones. First one was a cult classic, but I think even the third one outdid the first one in my book, so definite pickup. 5 out of 5. I wasn't much into the series, but the movie really got me into it. So, Serenity, good film, good sci-fi, action, and special effects, so good movie to watch. Probably another underrated film, you could say guilty pleasure of mine, I would say, is The Time Machine, 2002. It's got a good story, got a good rewatchable factor in it for me, so I thought that was worth a pickup in my view. So, DVD, so good movie. Last on my sci-fi list would be John Carter. Great film. Disney outdid itself in this. I felt that it was very underrated, and I'm sorry it didn't do so well in the box office, but hopefully they'll be thinking about redoing this, maybe a sequel, so it's a good pickup. These two are in my comedy section. It's probably my weakest out of my collection. Yeah, it's Rush Hour 1 and 2, and Hot Fuzz. This one is probably not too familiar with. It stars Simon Pegg, and he does a great job in this, serious, yet delivers his funny catchphrases. And Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker complement each other well. The third one I felt was a bit lacking, so I only felt that 1 and 2 were worth keeping in my collection. So, good comedies right here. And for my last three, they all have one thing in common, the actor. Real Steel, The Fountain, and The Prestige. They all star Hugh Jackman. I thought he was brilliant in all of them. he's probably in my top 10 actors list, so must own. So that was all my collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I try to keep it short and simple, so, you know. And remember, videos rule.